Talking Tuesday. It's what we do. We just sit around, smoke a pound, and talk about what we do. In the cannabis world, we gon' let you know how the business go on a brand new show. Talking Tuesday. Show you how to do it right.
All right. Welcome to Token Tuesday. Here's Virgil Grant. To my left, I got Keith Williams, and to my right, I got Marco Barrios.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, we here today, Token Tuesday, and live. Y'all see me in my doctor suit. You know what I'm saying?
The doctor.
I'm putting in some surgery today. Some real precision stuff. I just want y'all to tune in. Thank you all out there for checking us out today. We're going to have some hot topics going on. We're going to talk about some things y'all all saw on the news. You know, the former president getting blasted on. Boy, you swear up and down, he was a Negro for real. He done been to jail all in 1 month.
All in 1 month.
He done been to jail. He done been shot at. He caught a felony. Oh, my goodness. Is he a white president? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, but anyway, moving right along. Glad to know he's doing all right and he's still in the race. You know what I'm saying?
And by the way, this is a California cannabis pre-roll right
here. That
here.
is a California cannabis infused pre-roll.
Hey, man, hold that up to the light so we can see that.
It's oil. Man, it is handcrafted.
Yeah, this thing look nice. I'm about to light this up, y'all. Just gonna keep it 100.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna light this up.
It might even have some THCA in it. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
You know what I'm saying? But when you fire it up, Yeah, zoom in on that. Check that one out, man. Come on, look at the goods. It might be a KOD or it might be a snow cone. Yeah. I don't know which one it is, but it looked like a snow cone.
It looked like a snow cone because it's white. It got that white, The
snow cone is the one that got the THC. That has all the keef wrapped around it. You know what I'm saying? The KOD has just had the diamonds on the inside.
Yeah, you see that?
Oh, yeah. See, that's a smooth burn right there, baby. You real smokers know what that's about. Look at that. Come on, man. That's a beauty. That's a work of art.
Hey, look, and that's part of what we're going to talk today.
Methods of consumption. And one right there is puffing, blowing. So, welcome to Token Tuesday, powered by California Cannabis, where only the best grows in the West. And so we're going to talk about methods of consumption. But before we jump up into methods of consumption, I got to tell you, I don't know if you heard about Dr. Green Thumb over there on La Cienega.
What happened?
It ain't Dr. Green Thumb anymore.
What is it now?
So it's called something else, something, I can't even remember the name, but it's something weird, like Weasel or something like that. And it's supposed to be by Snoop. They had a line around the corner and so on and so forth. And hey, let me tell y'all, I ain't here advertising nothing that ain't California cannabis. But anyway, they had a line around the corner. They selling weed, man, the same shit we've been selling since 1996 legally here in California, but time beyond before that. So what's so amazing that these people would line up around the corner, and I ain't hating, but I just got to say it. Y'all was lined up around the corner for what? To go in that shop and do what? To get what different that you couldn't have got in any shop in L.A.? Because you can best believe they ain't got nothing that we ain't got. That's for damn sure. Matter of fact, we got shit they ain't got. Because we real players at this shit. What can I say? You had one rapper fail and got up out of it, and now you got one rapper coming in. And although I respect my boy Snoop to the fullest, that Snoop don't sell weed, he smoke weed. Let's keep it real. Once again, Snoop smoke weed. He don't sell weed. He sell records.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So I just want y'all to be, this new generation loves smoke screens. You ever recognize that?
Yeah.
They love smoke screens. This new generation. Y'all, look, you remember the saying back in, hey, you remember the saying back in our day when they said, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. You youngsters ain't standing for shit because y'all falling for everything.
But you know what? You can't blame it all on the youngsters. They are marketed to 24 hours a day. Like, they constantly being told
I get
what they
that,
should
but
like.
they market that same marketing come to me too. I just ain't a fool. I ain't an idiot. I ain't dumb. I ain't gonna fall for anything. You see what I'm saying? I'm not a follower, first of all, because that's the problem with some of these kids in this generation, is that they want to follow everybody instead of be their own person, create their own lane. And they're following people who never wanted to follow somebody. Now just think about that. They are following somebody who didn't want to follow nobody because they wanted to be their own person. Go figure that. So why would I follow somebody that didn't want to follow somebody that didn't want to follow somebody?
Yeah.
If I'm going to follow somebody, then, or follow suit with what he's doing, then I shouldn't follow him, right? Because ain't that how the chain of command went? Now here I am being the only sucker in the group, and I'm going to follow somebody. I just had to say it, y'all, because I told y'all last week we was going in on this one. And so here we go. We starting already. And you know me, I'm your boy. I'm going to take you all the way in. You know what I'm saying? All the way into all the conversations.
Yep.
You know, we got to talk strong.
Yep.
I got to, excuse me.
They switched the name, though. They switched the name. Just Google it.
So
It's
is
over
that
there.
both shops or just that one there?
It's just one shop.
Two.
I know. That shop gone and was replaced. Didn't you hear me say one rapper failed and another rapper came in and took over? Wow. So Dr. Green Thumb, Be Real, one rapper failed, another rapper comes in. Come on, man. Don't do that. We real players at this. We real cannabis players. That's why we still here. After 30, 20, 15, however many years you want to count, we still here.
I don't know the details to that situation particularly, but what I'm thinking is they might have had that licensing agreement and it probably expired. So whoever the actual owner is might have transitioned to that new company with a new partnership.
I can't go for
because
that.
most of those Dr. Green Thumbs are licensed.
I can't go for that. And the reason why I'm going to tell you why I can't go for that, because guess what? I was told by people, I know people, see, I used to own a home right across the street in Ladera Heights.
Right.
So I still know people over there. Guess what they told me about that shop when it was Dr. Green Thumbs?
What's that?
Did y'all hear that? Crickets. Wasn't shit going on over there. You feel me? Wasn't nothing going on.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that, wasn't no business popping over there when it was Dr. Green Thumbs. So how you gonna keep your doors open if you ain't got no business? You see what I'm saying? Man, this is the most aggressive market in LA for retailers. And retailers are failing left and right. First of all, if I'm doing good, and let's take Marco's theory, if I'm doing great or I'm even doing good and I'm maintaining, if my license agreement is up, wouldn't they renew it? No, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
If I'm doing good, and you would want to renew me to keep me up in there. But if I ain't doing shit and I'm failing, then get me out and bring another one in. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, he can't catch the ball, so let's get another receiver.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And so this is what's happening in the cannabis industry. It's next man up. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is, it's next corporate American man up, next rapper up, next ball player up, next this, that up. Everything except for next real cannabis player up. And I told y'all, we real cannabis players. So we're always going to be biased to cannabis players in the cannabis industry because we understand what it takes to survive in this industry. All of these other people come in, they built this so-called hype up, and that hype goes for a minute like a fad, and just like every fad, it fades. And it doesn't stay along for the long term. But what you end up doing is sucking some air out of our space. So there's a real cannabis player that's somewhere around there that's getting air sucked from him or her because these people are coming in and these people are already doing what they're doing and doing it well. Mm-hmm. So to come in our lane and start taking space out of our lane, and some space out of our lane, because it's not a lot, let's be honest. Mm-hmm. It's not a lot, but they are taking some space out of somebody's lane that's over in that area. And I'm always concerned about players in this cannabis industry. So anyway.
But Virgil, wait, because I do want to talk about that. Like, what you point to has validity when you look at how the licensing was rolled out in the first place. Because I told people from the very beginning that cannabis is more of a small batch, situation. If I got a certain strand and I have a certain audience that like that strand, I should be able to grow and be profitable with it. But if you think about how they rolled the licenses out, they rolled them out saying you got to have a 20,000 square foot facility. You got to have, so much space. And now we had to come up with the business concepts to kind of fill out their dream for what we wanted to do. You already had a working model.
But I don't agree with that totally. And the reason why I say that is because that's somebody who don't know nothing about what's going on in this industry. If you're a real player in this industry, you know how to navigate through every nook and cranny of this industry, no matter what they throw at you. They've been throwing shit at us ever since we agreed for legalization. You see what I'm saying? And we've understood how to pivot. We've understood how to bob and weave. We've understood how to backpedal and then run forward. We understood all the things that it took to stay competitive and stay in the industry, stay alive in the industry. For someone who don't know diddly squat about this industry, man, that what you said is what's going to happen. Because first of all, cannabis ain't your thing. And if it is, then you know how to get in here, dig in, and make it happen. Creating a brand in this industry is not as simple as everybody think it is. Everybody think, I can go in and create me a brand. Oh, I'm going to go in. I got $30,000 and I just start me a brand. Like, really? Fuck out of here. How you going to start a brand with $30,000? Mm-hmm. Don't nobody know you. You ain't nobody. You ain't even a player in the industry. And even if you are somebody, they going to say, are you somebody in this industry? Mm-hmm. Because keep in mind, these people, these real consumers, not the kids, not the youngsters that are coming along trying to be trendy. The real market in this industry, which are your 27 on up, they're not following a so-called trend. In the stock market maybe, in the housing market maybe, but in cannabis, they ain't following no trend. They're staying right in that middle ground, which is comfortable for them to be able to buy and purchase quality cannabis at a reasonable price. That's it and that's all. There is nothing phenomenal about that recipe. There's nothing phenomenal about that mathematical equation.
That's true.
The problem is we trying to make something phenomenal that ain't phenomenal. This shit is basic mathematics. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of people don't understand. So when you have these outsiders come inside the industry that know nothing about the industry, they may have a great marketing team. That marketing team only going to take them so far. Because then the real consumers are going to see the fakeness in them. Going to see these ain't real people. Y'all don't really even know nothing about cannabis. You have no background in it. You have no experience in it. You a smoker just like me. You understand what I'm saying? But what do you have business-wise in this background that you could open this business up and be very successful at it? Now, those that have, hey, man, God bless them. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully they did something positive for and to while they're entertaining in the industry. But the overwhelming majority of the people come in here and they take it and taken from the industry and try to get all that they can get, and then when they felt they got enough or they can't get no more, then their ass is gone. Those are the people we don't need in this industry. We need people that's going to add value to the industry and that's going to create something that's going to be a legacy and that can live on. Y'all feel me?
Definitely. No, I guess my question, as far as like how these licenses were rolled out, I don't think everybody wanted to be a commercial grower as far as just being a profitable grower. And I think that was the oversight that was, looked at. Because think about anybody that started from the beginning started guerrilla style with a small operation.
Exactly. It's always been boutique growing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Everybody got their own little method of growing, how
That's
they
what I'm
grow,
talking
find the little strain that they really love, and they hold on to it, and they grow it the best. When OG Kush was out, you had somebody that was growing OG Kush. Then when you had Green Crack, you had Green Crack Dave, who was growing Green Crack.
Yeah.
He specialized in that. You got Johnny Casale up north with White Thorn Rose, and these strains that people specifically grow. You got California Cannabis with CCOG, Coastal Calm, and Kali Kush. You know what I'm saying? People that grab hold to these strains and learn how to perfect them.
Right.
That's what this industry is all about. It's not, I'm going to open up a shop and sell some weed. What weed you selling? Whose weed you selling? Oh, you selling somebody's weed that white labeled and white labeled and white labeled, and now you selling his white labeled upon white label weed. You know what I'm saying? You see how out of touch that is?
Yeah, but
when
you're telling the secrets of retail. Like most retail stores, they might have 10 different labels on there, but it's all being sourced from the same place.
Exactly. Versus you going to a specific location that has a specific product and strains like we do in our industry. But now that we talking about boutique growing, let's talk about the ways of consumption. So when you do find that beautiful product that really tickles your fancy, and then now you doing some boutique growing, we look to our right over here, and Marco, he's showing you one of the most common and famous ways to consume cannabis, smoking it.
Just a little pre-roll.
Just a little pre-roll, a little vape pen, a little bowl that you get in your bong or your joint. You know what I'm saying? Me, I like zigzags. I'm still old school with mine. Even though Snoop don't go by what he rapped about, because he said keep the blunt in your pocket, low, because Doggy Dog is all about the zigzag smoke. But he be smoking blunts, y'all. I smoke zigzags. You feel me? And you know what I'm saying? So I'm old school with it. But what's some more ways of consumption, Dr. Keith? Even though I'm in a doctor suit today, y'all see me the surgeon alive. Talk to us, Dr. Keith.
All right, so look, if I was to tell y'all that it was 11 different ways to consume cannabis, and you guys already talked about at least 2 of them, smoking, edibles, right? Some people can't smoke. It irritates their lungs, or for whatever reason, they just can't.
Or a lot of people they do edibles because they still don't want people in their business. They can pop an edible in their mouth. They can be out at a function. They can take that edible and dump it in a little plastic baggie. And y'all think they eating some gummy bears they done got from Target or Walmart or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or Costco's.
So they put it in the zip.
And they slide it in the zip. Their little soccer moms, and they be at a wedding talking about.
Yeah, look, and all of a sudden, that conversation get a little bit more tolerable.
Yeah, now they can deal with the foolishness. Because I'm here with the in-laws. I got my joint going. I got my little edible and it kicked in. Now you ain't getting on my nerves no more.
So now let's talk about that.
And all those is like different oral ways of consumption.
No, so these are different oral.
Topical.
We even have smoking, we have vapes, we have transdermal. So we got a bunch of different methods that even I didn't think of when, I first started doing the research. But when
I've seen products for every single thing like that.
I think part of what we need to share with the audience is why would you take it in these different ways? So if I'm going out and I don't really have a planning for an edible, I'm just gonna take a joint and hit it and go in for the next hour. It's in my system. But now with an edible, because it has to go through your stomach and then from your stomach into your liver and your bloodstream, you got to leave a little time for that. So The regular classic one's probably about 15, 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the nano that's going to onset probably in about 45 seconds to a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, this is part of that planning. What function am I going to? How soon do I need it and how long do I need it to last? Because one thing I can tell you, you do not want to drive or do anything with motion after taking the edible.
Nah, you don't.
Yeah, the room all of a sudden is going to seem a little closer.
Yeah.
So then,
and so the reason why a lot of people do edibles as well, like you say, Keith, is that you could take an edible, then you and your girl or your wife, or maybe you just yourself and your friends or whatever, are now getting ready to get into the car, getting ready to get into the function, and now the edible is kicking in.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So you done got yourself together, ready to go. You in the car, you rocking and rolling. You in the back seat. Hopefully you ain't driving. You know what I'm saying? And the edible kicks in. These are reasons why people use or it kicks in when they get to the function that they're at, and they don't have to worry about, like you say, people seeing them consume, because you still have people that are very conscious of others knowing that they consume cannabis, because they want that to be their business.
They don't want
You
the
still
smell.
have some people that drink and they don't drink in public.
Right.
They drink in the comfort of their own home. They pop their own little wine glass or a bottle
Yeah.
at
wait
the
a minute.
house.
Do you know the difference in the two? If you drink alone, you're a drunk. If you consume cannabis alone, you're a closet smoker. There's a difference.
I don't know about that.
mean,
and that's hey,
you only
that
had
sound
one
cool.
drink, I don't know
Hey,
if
that
you a
sound cool,
drunk.
but I don't know, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, I have a glass of wine by myself. You know what I'm saying? And you know why? Because if I'm chilling and I'm mellowing out, man, I don't want nobody around me wrecking my vibe. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody blowing my buzz.
But,
You feel what I'm
but
saying?
a glass ain't gonna do it. We saying the whole bottle.
Yeah. Now, if you turn back the whole bottle, then I don't know. It's a little, maybe you are drunk. Maybe you are an alcoholic. But, I'm just saying a glass, that's, a joint.
Right.
Having a joint, at
Just real
the
quick.
comfort of your own home,
Yes, sir.
smoking a joint, you winding down for the day. Because at the end of the day, this is like having a beer for some people. Like my dad used to get off of work and have a beer sitting right in his lap, and he driving down the 110 freeway. You know what I'm saying? Going to Altadena, because he lived on Altadena Drive. But he used to have a beer every day he got off of work. He had maybe a beer, maybe even two, in the car with him. See, that was back when you could drink and drive, but then people was responsible. You got to remember that there were less accidents on the road when people were drinking and driving in the way that they did responsibly. You know what I'm saying? That's what is going on. I mean, that's not what's going on today.
No.
People are over consuming, belligerently drinking, and then get behind the wheel. Big difference than my dad, who cracked a brew to, drink on his way home with some beer nuts. That was different from a partner. I mean, one of my dad's workers, who I remember, he used to ride to Vegas. Before he go to Vegas, he get him a little bag of ice, and he get him either a half pint or a pint of Hennessy. He get him a little plastic cup, and he'll be sipping on that Hennessy all the way to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And it mellowed him out for his ride all the way to Vegas, from Compton to Vegas.
Yeah, he was relaxed.
That was what people did back in the day, but that was some responsible shit. Y'all don't understand that. And like I say, we gonna just say it just what things are. People gonna say, oh, that's so irresponsible. Bullshit. Because he was way more responsible than you raggedy ass drunks that's killing somebody's kid, that's like that fool that then ran over that man and his family. He got his kids riding on a bicycle behind him, and some idiot come barreling down on them, and one of them dead and one in critical condition and all jacked up. That's some dumb shit right there. But my partner Leo sipping on that pint of Hennessy, and he probably ain't even sipped on all of it. He just probably sipping. There's a difference between drinking and sipping. And he's sipping and just got his tape deck in. You know what I'm saying? Got the vibes going on in his Cadillac, and he cruising down the highway. You know what I'm saying? So big difference in consumption. But let's get back to the other method of consumption.
So look, before we move off of beer, I want to say this. A lot of people don't know. Did you know that the hop is a distant cousin of cannabis?
Absolutely.
So America can accept the hop, right? But we can't accept cannabis. Think about that for a second.
The hop became a business first.
Yes, sir.
And cannabis wasn't really a legitimate business like that. And so the hop was afraid that cannabis would overtake them and their profits. And that's true.
We got to make
that is very true.
We got to make
People
this
rather
America's
smoke than drink
Yes.
because they understand what drinking can do. If you go to Mile High Stadium, you got less fights going on in Mile High Stadium since Denver legalized.
Slows the traffic down, everything.
Fights going on in Mile High, because used to have fights going on in Mile High. It was rocking and rolling at Mile High, but you don't even have that no more because everybody passing joy. Hey, man, how you do? Oh, and everybody having a good time.
Yeah, everybody chill.
Talk to me, Keith.
So the next after the consumption is a tincture. And this is basically when you use a carrier oil like MCT oil and you'll mix there you're right there. And you drop this right up under your tongue, and when you drop it under your tongue, it actually will go into your bloodstream even quicker. It'll absorb right.
Is this open, Keith?
Open it.
All right. See, because we want to give the visual along with Keith giving the verbal.
Yeah, the verbal description.
Yeah, the verbal along with the visual, the two V's, the verbal and the visual. So Keith was talking about the tincture, the drops. He says put them sublingual under the tongue. So lift your tongue up, take a couple of drops, put it up under there, and you feeling gravy, baby.
Yeah, now this is the quickest absorption into the bloodstream. You can do precise dosing for consistent effects. And it's discreet and easy to use. A lot of times, and I tell all the soccer moms, instead of having that glass of wine, have that shot of CBD. And what it's going to do is the MCT oil is going to work up the neurons in your head. So it's almost dementia prevention. And then you have the CBD that's going to hit that CB2 receptor. So it's like getting a body high and a mind mellow.
All at the same time.
All at the same time.
Yep. Double whammy, baby.
Double whammy.
All right, then we got topicals. So topicals
Double
could be in
whammy,
two
baby. Is that like a massage with the happy ending? Double whammy. You know what I'm saying? Is that what we talking about here?
It's just quite short of the happy ending. But with topicals, and this is really important. Cannabis can absorb through your skin and absorb right into your bloodstream. So if we're talking about a local injury, what you want to do that is rub it right directly where the pain is. And because your endocannabinoid system is connected to your nervous system, it's basically going to numb the signals there and give yourself time to heal.
Ooh-wee. Look at that pretty topical. Only the best grows in the West. Ooh-wee. Let's crack him open, baby. Let's see what we working with.
Now, here's the specialty to this. Local relief for pain and inflammation without psychoactive effects, even though it has cannabis in it.
Yeah, let me get that whiff real quick.
How'd you take that?
That's a topical.
You rub it right on you.
Rub it on you. It's a salve.
Yeah,
it's a balm.
So look,
it's
I'm
a
just
salve.
gonna take a little bit, and then you see you rub it right onto the skin. And this is way too much, right? What it's gonna do is your endocannabinoid system runs throughout your whole body into your organs and everything. So it's gonna absorb into your bloodstream. It's gonna give you local pain relief.
Yes, it
and then
will.
the rest of it will run through your system to basically chill you out.
And if you ask, will it get you high? Slightly. If in the terms of what people say, getting high. It ain't gonna get you high like smoking a joint. It's just gonna relax you more than anything. So come by.
Put it on the whole
yeah. Some people be talking about, I need some all over. Girl, let me put some right here. You know what I'm saying?
So wait a minute. Here's one other point you need to know about topicals. So you do have your lymphatic system throughout your body, under your arms, around your neck and stuff. So if you do put it in some of those areas, it's going to give you, when we talk about being elevated, it's going to get you there a little bit quicker because you're putting it right to those sensitive lymphatic areas. Mm-hmm. All right.
So we had smoking, we had tinctures, so we had edibles, and we add topicals.
Yep.
So we have 4. What's the 5th one, Mr. Keith? Talk to me.
All right, so this is something that the newer generation do. It's called dabbing.
Dabbing.
Yeah, so you need high intensity heat in order to dab, and basically you need a device called a rig. And what
Riggy.
they do is they heat it up, and then they introduce the cannabis in at the high heat. At that high heat, you boil off certain terpenes, but it's going to give you a larger burst of THC.
So it melts down and it gives you a shot to the brain.
Yep. Intense and immediate effect. Efficient delivery of high potent cannabinoids suitable for experiencing users seeking strong relief.
And so what you'll have, those are in your concentrates. So we're talking about your shatter, your wax, your sauce, your batters, your THCAs, all of those type of concentrates that they use in their rigs to dab with. So those are your concentrates, and all that is an extracted form of THC concentrated down, and that's why they call them concentrates, concentrated down in a small compact form of high levels of THC to give you that, that extra high. I don't know if I want that high. I'm gonna leave that for the youngsters,
Right.
but I'm into the mellow high. That is a racy high. I will tell you that. A very racy high. For those that aren't into that racy high and want more of that mellow vibe, more of that chill vibe, or even more of that I want to stay lifted vibe, but I want to stay alert and functional, that one right there is going to have you terrific.
And what's really important about what Virgil is pointing out, at a dab, because of the high heat of it, you pretty much then burnt all the medicine off. Terpenes have very low boiling points. You can always tell that if you ever smoking a joint, as you smoking a joint, the taste of it is going to change. As the flame is far away from you, the flavonoids are there. As you burning them off, it's going to change the taste of it.
Yeah, for real. I see.
Part of that Marco has, we put the terpenes on the outside, so even as they burning off, they continuously being replenished.
Being replaced as they burning off. So look, y'all, we done talked about smoking. We done talked about tinctures, topicals, edibles, and now we done talked about dabbing.
Yep.
So shoot, we do 6 more to go, baby. Where we at with the 6th one?
Cannabis beverages.
Oh, ooh-wee, and I don't see, normally I have
Where's
my
the
tea up
tea?
here. See, normally I have my tea up here, but hey, they call it pimping slipping. Pimp down.
Hey, look, now we got to explain to them about this tea.
Pimp down, but hey, look. At the end of the day, I'm making all organic, cannabis-infused, sun-brewed tea. It's an extract, first of all. It's an extracted method. The method is done all natural, hippie style. So my extraction method is done, I would call what they call a cold water press extraction.
Or bubble.
And so that is the way I extract that, and I produce and blend and make my teas, and it is amazing. So if y'all have never had my lemon, peach, or raspberry tea, go to your local California cannabis location. Look us up online. Go to www.californiacannabiswc.com or go to any of your app stores, be it Android or be it iPhone, and go to California Cannabis, download the app. You'll see the logo on there. Download that app, and you'll be able to access it. But drinkables, to me, are the best. And the beauty about the tea, if you drink it cold, it acts as a sativa. If you heat it up and drink it hot, like a hot or a warm tea, it acts as an indica. So this is when Keith was talking about earlier with the dabbing, about how the heat changes the activation of cannabis. Be it cold, be it hot, gives different activations. And in those heating processes are different levels of activation. I want you guys to think about what he also talked about, and this is very important when you're eating edibles and how it is consumed within your body. It goes through that activation process. A lot has to do with heating up. A lot has to do with dissolving and absorption. and things like that to create the effect that it'll ultimately create. So these are some of the things in consumption with cannabis. So we talked about smoking. We talked about tinctures. We talked about edibles. We talked about topicals. We talked about dabbing on your rig. So we talked about the concentrates. And then we just talked about your drinkables. Now,
Beverages.
what we talking about?
So then you also have capsules and pills. Anytime you're trying to get a more precise dosage, you'll look for a pill form where once you take it, it's gonna, get right to it, and it'll actually have a more consistent dosing. So we talk about capsules or pills. They pre-measured doses of cannabis in each pill.
And so California Cannabis has already created, because remember we used to have our capsules that they was loving them capsules.
Those are the sellers.
And I think you had them liquid diamonds.
That was we had the capsules, and so I think you remember when we had the capsules, huh, Keith?
They were 25 milligrams.
Oh yeah, so the capsules, hey, they coming back, y'all. So we call them California Dreaming. You feel me? They'll help you go to sleep. 2 capsules in a package. And before this show is over, I'm going to bring it up and show you the packaging so you'll recognize it when you see it at any one of your California cannabis locations for right now until I decide I'm going to send it out to other locations. But right now, you got to come see us. So, we have talked about, smoking. We talked about tinctures. We talked about edibles. We talked about topicals. We talked about which are concentrates. We talked about drinkables. And now we just got finished talking about in your medicine form, your pill form. Now what do we have, Mr. Keith?
So there's also a way for cannabis to be used as a suppository, and they would use this anytime somebody has gastrointestinal issues. So you want to get right straight to the issue.
The old keister. We're going to up the old keister it.
Now, fast and effective absorption provides localized relief for specific conditions, bypasses the digestive system for individuals with gastrointestinal issues.
Hey, your booty hide in the mug. Just think about them girls that got that fake booty on them. And you know how they be popping them like this? It ain't be high.
One cheek.
Hey, it ain't got no lift to it. It's just saggy. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, you better be careful. Because you going to want your shit standing at attention when you go out there in them jeans, and it ain't going to cooperate because that booty high. You didn't put a suppository up in that bad boy.
And then, so wait a minute. So with these suppositories, they can be used in the rectum
or in the vaginal. Yeah. So I was just thinking about that too as I was sitting here cracking up. That means, hey, they say loose lip sync battleships.
Wait a minute. That cat be like.
That cat won't be purring and meowing. That cat gonna be like. Oh man, okay. So yeah, we having a ball here tonight, y'all. Marco over there smoking on some good. Hey, Marco smoking on that Doja, that dough, that Cron Diggity Don.
But it's still going this whole time.
Oh yeah, so we on that Cron Don, that Doja, that dough.
All right, we got 2 more methods.
All right, so here we go. We got 2 more methods. Shall we go back? We got the smokables.
Yes.
We got the tinctures.
Yes.
We got the edibles.
Yes.
We got the topicals. And we got the concentrates, which is the dabbing.
Yeah.
We have the drinkables. We got the oral taken in the pill form.
Yes.
And then now we got the suppository.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. So here's another form, sprays, where instead of you putting it, you put it right directly on your tongue. Yeah. So with a spray, it's quick and easy, it's discreet, and they think it's a breath mint, but you actually just medicate it.
Exactly. Right. So that's very simple. It's just like a little spray. You know, back in the day, they used to have them. You going
Banaka.
to a party, you know, you
The
thought
Banaka,
you was a
it has
player
that,
back in the day, and then a player turn around and go,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Make sure his breath fresh, put it back in his pocket. Hey, y'all too young to know about that. A player turn around, get him right up in the mouth, you know what I'm saying? Because he didn't want to go in the girl's face jibbing to her with dragon breath. He didn't want to be getting his little Mac on, and the dragon come out, and she be like, God damn.
Yeah, so that Banaka.
You know what I'm
was
saying?
ready.
That the Banaka, yeah, heck yeah. So we had that little spray back in the day. Cannabis industry got the same thing.
Yep.
Freshen your breath a little taste, and it get you high all at the same time. You know
All
what
right.
I'm saying?
Now, the last one, and this was kind of surprise to me, but it's called a transdermal patch. So
It's like
a lot of
cigarette
times when you see these athletes get wraps, what you can do is take the transdermal pack and put it up under the wrap. It's localized, and because it's concentrated in the pack, it could last 8 to 10 hours. So again, these are all different methods of consuming cannabis. One thing that I
number 9?
tell any
That's number 9.
No, that was,
no, that was number 11.
That's number
that's
11.
11. Yeah. We done
He
went
named
through
that
all
many
of
off.
them. Marco over there so high, he don't know his numbers right now. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's what California cannabis do to you. So
That's
hey,
what it'll do
hey,
to you.
smoke responsibly. I'm here to tell you because I'm going to get you high. I'm going to get you high. I'm going to get you high. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but no, what I was saying with these methods of consumption, depending on your use of cannabis, cannabis is very versatile as a medicine. It's not only something that needs to be smoked, and it's not something that always needs to be used to sedate you or make you intoxicated. You can be used in a social environment just to loosen you up. Sometimes family reunions when you might not quite want to be there. More responsible way of doing it might be a gummy or a tincture, and it might lighten the mood up a little bit. But do
Absolutely.
it as a group.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Pass it around. Say, hey, y'all had any of these gummies? Yeah, you know, and they be eating on that gummy and be like, damn, that's a good tasting gummy. And next thing you know, they be high as a kite. They be like Marco over there in the corner talking about hiding the motherfucker. Hey, I don't want to talk to nobody about nothing. I'm in the zone. Don't blow my buzz.
I need this.
Yeah, don't.
I'll be here the consumption all 11. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
don't blow my buzz. You know what I'm saying? That's why y'all got to come and get this
Yeah,
one
that
right
Kali
here.
has
This
been
is the
around
Kali
since
and the Marco.
2000.
This was created because of me, which my nickname is Kali. And of course, y'all know Marco over here.
Yep.
And that's how this brand was created and introduced. This is Kali and Marco.
They've been around for.
Yeah. So it's been around for a minute. Marco got, you know what I'm saying? You see our little characters on there. Kali and Marco. Come get it.
Yeah, come
you know,
get that.
retails at $30 out the door.
Yeah, come
Tax
get
and
that.
everything included. Real good strain up in there right now. Let me see what I got up in this package. Ooh, need my glass. Oreos.
Yeah.
Hello. Oreos in this package. Yeah, when y'all stop in California Cannabis, ask for the Kali and the Marco. Get that 8th bag and take it with you.
So Virgil, you know what? I think we do need to talk about the uniqueness of some of the strands that you have there, because I think that even with what's going on in the industry, people are actually growing the characteristics out of cannabis for the chase of THC. And Marco, like we talked about that, how like cannabis is losing its character because everybody chasing after THC. When you used to have Cypress Hill OG, what was it, like 18%?
Yeah.
But it had 1% CBD. Let's kind of talk about how we can use those different profiles to, make a better product.
Exactly. And I like that Keith brought that up because Marco gonna really be able to relate to this. Certain weed that was grown made you feel a certain way.
Yeah, period.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you smoked certain strains for certain reasons. We have this here, this Coastal Calm. Our Coastal Calm is a very nice sativa, but it's a very mild sativa. It's not a racy sativa.
Right.
It's a sativa that'll allow you to go on about your day, kind of take the edge off a little bit, but keep you focused and in the zone. But if you have anxiety, this is not going to set you over the edge because some sativas are not good for people who have anxiety,
Right.
because they're too racy, which elevates that level of anxiety. And this is what you guys got to know about cannabis. Excuse me, especially if you have a person that's consuming cannabis and they consume too much and get scared. And the reason why that level of anxiety elevates is because they may be on a sativa at the time. And so now their heart is pumping, they nervous, they racing, and their anxiety level is through the roof. But had they had an indica, it wouldn't have did that. That indica would have took that edge off, and they wouldn't have been nervous. It wouldn't have been racy. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, a couple of times I didn't hit the joint while I was driving. You know what I'm saying? And I was able to drive with precision because certain moves that I would make, I wasn't nervous. I was able to, boom, and glide and dip and glide and get where I needed to get to. You know what I'm saying? Safely. But I got where I needed to get to because I wasn't, just anxious and rearing up and ready to go. The edge was knocked off. And y'all know how it is being in LA traffic.
Oh my God.
Damn, do you need weed to knock the edge off?
Man, that's the only thing that could distract you.
Exactly. And then we have the crucial candy. Now, the crucial candy is it's a three-way cross, very good hybrid, indica dominant, but guess what this thing has? It is gifted with an aphrodisiac. And that's what a lot of people loved about the crucial candy. And when I really tried the strain, and I ain't gonna lie, man, it had me feeling some kind of way when I was with a girl, when I was with my woman. You know what I'm saying? Had me really like on one, like ready to do a little something. Let me tell you, this will set the mood right. If you with your girl and y'all smoking, that crucial candy right there put a little twangy twang up in it, put a little tingly in the dingly and the pingly. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can get mingly.
So Virgil, we do need to talk about that because right now America is going to look at cannabis and mushrooms in the same category like they psychedelics. Some weeds like your hazes will express themselves in a euphoric way. So when we start talking about how cannabis has that effect where, like you're feeling your skin and, you want to be sensual with another person, that's that euphoric effect that we're looking at. And we need to, kind of make that crossover for people because I got people come to me and say, wait a minute, how can cannabis and mushrooms, be in the same category? It's because of that euphoric effect.
What was your favorite strain?
OG Kush.
OG Kush.
OG Kush. Any variation of OG Kush was mainly my thing.
Original
Master
OG Kush or what?
Just Kushes in general.
Okay.
Master Kushes, OG Kushes, anything from 818 San Fernando, Fire OG, Tahoe OG.
Yeah.
Those. And then what else? Probably Marijuana OG, but that didn't last very long.
No, it really
But I had
didn't.
a grower in West Hollywood, a couple that used to grow that.
Yeah, I remember when that
Yeah,
came out.
Marijuana was beautiful. I used to love that a lot, man.
What about the Three Kings?
Three Kings? Yep.
Yeah, remember the Three
Yep, I
Kings,
remember
the
Three
Master,
Kings.
the OG,
Yep.
and the Bubba.
And the Bubba.
That was a three-way cross. It was called the Three Kings.
Really?
Master Kush, OG Kush, and the Bubba Kush cross. Hey, let me tell you something. It was some growers back in the day.
Yeah.
You feel me? Some growers.
Yeah.
Now, the only reason why I mentioned about the less THC with, a little CBD is using mango slices to boost your THC. Have you guys heard about that?
I have not. Now, you got me with that one, Keith.
So
Ring it in.
mangoes have the same myrcene terpene as an OG. And a lot of times what you can do is, if you think about the terpene profile of OG, it's myrcene, carafilene, and limonene.
Yeah.
And you'll start seeing like your hybrid cakes where they trying to emulate, either carafilene, limonene to make it feel like an OG.
Exactly.
And what I be trying to tell people is like, hey, you know what? You can boost your own THC by, just taking a little mango slice with it because in your mind, think about it, it's all going to hit the same receptor.
Yeah.
It was just more myrcene there, and it's going to boost it about 5%.
Well, that's just like eating chocolate when getting high. Because chocolate boosts up your high as well. Why? Because chocolate is almost like a carrier effect of that THC to a next level. So if you ever had edibles and you've eaten a gummy versus eating a chocolate and
It's
wonder
gonna hit
why
you
you a
different.
lot higher eating that chocolate than that gummy, there you go.
Yeah. And then here's the other thing that I think we should talk about as far as cannabis being water soluble. So depending on if you fit and you smoking versus if you have like extra fat, it will tell how it's gonna metabolize in your body.
Yeah.
Like these are all things during those first earlier years when they did studies to say, okay, here's the patented medicine, here's cannabis. Depending on your endocannabinoid system, I can't reduplicate in 30 people the same thing like I could with medicine.
Because we all different.
Because we all different, all have different endocannabinoid system, different muscle
Metabolisms.
density. Yeah, and all of those things affect how cannabis is going to express itself within you.
And that's something people don't understand. But the simplest way you could figure it out, or what you can relate it to, is like somebody that you with. They can drink one beer and be drunk as hell, and then somebody can pound a 6-pack,
And, so
and they ain't affected one bit. Like, damn man, you drunk the whole 6-pack. And he like, man, shit, I need another beer. Like he ain't even drunk like that, right? So it's different. Like you say, people metabolize something different. I can have a shot of whiskey and I'm cool. You could have a shot of whiskey and be stumbling.
Yep.
So it just metabolizes different, you know. And just like in modern medicine, you know, somebody may need ibuprofen and can take a 500 and they good. But some people
Somebody
need
else
that
might need
750
shit.
or that 800. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
2 of them.
Yeah, you know, 2 of them because
Depending
it doesn't.
who they are, yeah.
Exactly. So it is the same in cannabis of, like you said, Keith, how a body metabolizes it different from, you know, his to hers to yours to mine. What's going on in their life, what their weight is, you know, if they're, you know, whatever, you know, go workout. Maybe they're workout buff. So maybe they're a little leaner in fat, but have a lot of muscle, and maybe they metabolize things quicker and different. So a lot of different ways. And this is really beautiful to be able to talk about consumption. And what I really love, I wish we had that chart of the man. Remember they used to have the chart of the man in the store? The one that got his little arms up and then the legs spread out. And then it had all of the strains on there and what parts of the body it would affect, and it would help, and it would help heal, or, you know, whatever
It's
the
the
case may be.
terpene profile wheel, and
Yeah.
it tells you the elements and
Exactly.
I know.
Because a lot of people don't understand is that, and even athletes that smoke weed, they didn't understand the science part of it, but they knew something was to it. In other words, they found, you're smoking weed, a lot of them were able to recover quicker. And weed and CBD, which is CBD is within the THC molecular structure, it helps you recover quicker. It helps you break down some of that lactic acid that the THC is in there absorbing. Because if people know anything about lactic acid, and if you don't, lactic acid is what you feel after you've had a workout. Say you lift weights and then next day you sore, because I'm sore right now, I've been lifting. You know what I'm saying? Your boy working on his gunny guns.
That's right. That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Working on my gunny guns. But anyway, you know, when you work out and you feel that stiffness, or you run and you feel that stiffness in your back and your legs, that's lactic acid buildup. That's building up in your muscles. Now, there's ways to get rid of it. Some people go and soak in a Epsom salt. Some people stretch. Some people go out and run again. Because what it does is your body breaks that down and then uses that as fuel to repair stuff. Exactly. But when you put that THC up in there, and it allows it to go through that process a lot quicker, and you recover quicker. So this is just some things that people aren't aware of. But you see athletes, they smoking that weed, and you like, damn, they gonna be hot. No, they recovering. You just don't know how they recovering, but they recovering.
Yeah, every time they keep telling me, well, we don't have no research to. I seen, what's that young lady named Sha'Carri Richardson?
Yeah.
Run down somebody, and I was just like, oh, she on that shit. I mean, what else could explain it? So
Yeah, she was hot. She was smoking that weed. And it ain't really she was high. Because there's a difference between consumption and being high.
Right.
And you have to know the difference between the two. There's a difference between sipping a little something and then getting that nice little buzz versus being drunk. Being inebriated versus being, just getting a nice little buzz where you still have all your faculties and can function properly. It's a big difference in that. There, unfortunately, and we had touched bases on this, the younger generation just smoke to get high. And they want to get high to the level of that. They just want to be stoned out of their mind high. And that right there, there's just that mentality is not a good mentality to have where you just want to be stoned out of your mind. Y'all have friends that just want to be belligerent drunk. Sloppy, pissy, drunk. And y'all have friends like that y'all hate to go out with. And hate to go out with when there's liquor involved. Because they going to be pissy drunk. They going to embarrass you and act a fool. That's the same thing with this smoking weed with these youngsters and getting too high or high. Instead of taking a nice little hit, mellowing out with your partners, you know what I'm saying? Go out and have a good time and stay functional. That's called responsible smoking or responsible consuming. You know what I'm saying? Like they say in the commercial, drink responsibly. You got to smoke responsibly, And so you have to teach these people really, like you say, how to consume. The dosage, the micro dosing, and all of the things that come along with cannabis consumption in a responsible manner. But, we're going to come back with an episode and we're going to talk strictly about responsible consumption. Because people got to understand what truly is responsible consumption. We'll talk about that. But we really enjoyed the topic that we had today.
Yeah.
But we're not going just right now. I mean, we finished with that, but we ain't finished.
Yeah, that's just we finished with that list.
Yeah, we finished with that right there. But what I really like to get in, let's talk some real shit. Let's take these last few minutes of this podcast to talk some real shit. So I want y'all to think about a topic that's some real shit topic. And y'all out there, I want y'all to email us. I want y'all to send us a message through maybe Instagram. Send us a message through Facebook and whatever platforms that we have out there. We streaming
the website get messages
on all the platforms now. So just know that Token Tuesday, California Cannabis is Token Tuesday, and that's how you look it up. At first, we just had it on Token Tuesday, but when you do Token Tuesday, all kind of Token Tuesdays pop up that ain't got shit to do with us. So I put it California Cannabis as Token Tuesday. So put in California Cannabis Token Tuesday, and you'll pull this podcast up and you can watch it. But I just want each one of y'all to think about the hottest topic that you could think about. And I want it to be the most controversial topic you could ever think about in the cannabis industry. It got to be cannabis related, y'all. We're going to take a few minutes and talk about it. So I hope y'all ready. Mr. Keith, I'm going to put you on blast right now. Give me that controversy. You know how your teachers say, Mr. Williams, could you please stand up and read that chapter 11? Keith no damn, he ain't even brought the book to school. He ain't read nothing about the topic. So I'm that teacher. Get ready to put him on blast on a hot topic. Talk to me.
So it's right back to what we talked about last week in these pesticides, because cannabis was demonized in America, and when we talk about psychosis, the pesticides and stuff that they put on it can affect the person's neurological system, but the cannabis itself, separated from the pesticides, is a medicine. For me, it's just in the last week, we've had Stizzy embargoed, Left Coast embargoed,
and West Coast cure.
West Coast cure?
West Coast
cure. Okay, not
West
Left
Coast
Coast,
cure.
West Coast. But here's a situation where this was caused because the people that was actually doing it right, your fees and everything else put them out of business, the fees and taxes. So we really got to be careful at how we allowing the regulators to just close people down because we don't know what's best for us until we educated on what's best for us, and it might be too late once we find out that it's gone.
So that's like closing down Ralph's because they can of baked beans has salmonella in them. They don't close down Ralph just because they add baked beans with salmonella. They just pull it from the shelf. They find out what those SKUs are. Those are registered through the system because we are in a licensed facility. And this goes back to what we talked about on that same day. Y'all need to shop at legal shops. Stay out of them darn unlicensed, unregulated shops. Those shops, illegal, they drug houses, bottom line. Stay out of them. And the reason why I say they drug houses is because they got pesticide and drugs and stuff up in there. They could probably lace it with fentanyl and whatever they want to do because it's not lab tested and it's not regulated. So you don't know what you walking in getting. All you know is you that dummy going in there for them 7 grams. I'm going for them 7 grams for $10. And you going to get them 7 grams of garbage for $10. And it doesn't even register. No, just know my diction is proper. And it doesn't register as garbage. It's garbage. So understand that. And so y'all running in those shops thinking you saving money, which yeah, you saving money. But at the demise and the trade-off is your health to save a buck or two. And I don't think if you really think about the ramifications of damage of what that stuff can do to you long term and even short term. And there's even some terms we don't know because it still hasn't been studied thoroughly yet. But do you want to be that guinea pig to find out? To say, oh, he got, mesylthieflis, stimlium, dolium, filiolium, and some new shit that come out, and you that one that got the new shit because you was over there smoking something you shouldn't have been smoking, running up in them shops trying to get a deal because you want to smoke more weed for a little bit of money. It's just
Virgil,
problems. So
we should ask our listeners, this should be a call to action. Put more money into your hands so we can keep you safe. Like, you can't have both. You can't have the city and the state and the county saying me and the operator on the short end of it, and the operator's job is to protect you.
And the unfortunate part, if they keep squeezing the operator in the position that they do, then what that operator does is then come to squeeze you, and they're going to cut corners because they're not making a profit. They're in business to make a profit. And if they have investors that they have to appease, and then it forces them to do things that they normally shouldn't do or operate in a fashion that they normally wouldn't because the state and the city put them under the gun. They greedy asses, the state and the greedy city is taking money out of the pockets of the owners and operators, and then guess what? They sitting there trying to figure it out. But the city and the state sitting back fat as a rat. You know what I'm saying? And you sitting there as an operator on anorexic, pockets and all, bank account and all, and so, yeah, we do have to educate the people so that, one, you guys can go out and vote. SB 1059, State Senate Bill 1059, you have to vote on that. So that we could take the excise tax, the tax on tax. We need to have all that stuff removed, which will make your product cheaper. And then we can give the great deals and we can charge the great prices that we used to charge. And you have to go to the unlicensed shop to get the deal. You can come to us, the licensed operator. But still keep in mind, California Cannabis, all their prices are community conscious. So we do have what we call community conscious prices, which means that we understand the community that we're operating in, and so our prices reflect that. Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna pivot over here to my right, Marco.
Yep. I was gonna bring up the SB 1059.
Right on.
Yeah, but you got me right before I brought that. Yep.
SB 1059.
Yeah, that was gonna be my topic because it was on my mind earlier all day.
Okay, but let's wrap on it then.
I think it's necessary because they outpriced us.
Exactly.
There's no way us as retailers could survive at all. Mm-hmm. with them taxes.
Absolutely.
They outprice the hell out of us. The things that we give y'all shouldn't be as expensive as it is. when it comes out the door.
Absolutely.
That's really what it is. It's not that we can't compete. It's not that our price is just them taxes bump it up.
Yeah, exactly. And if we didn't have those taxes,
We'd be just as competitive as anybody else.
Exactly. And so we need the call to action for you guys to go out and make sure you support this SB, State Senate Bill 1059. Go out and support that. Your Senator, Steve Bradford, which has been a champion with us from day one. Yeah. When he got into the game, man, that brother was with us from day one. So my hats is always off to Senator Steve Bradford. And, we're going to get him on here one day to talk some stuff. I got a relationship with him.
But 1059, man, let's
good
get
brother,
let's get
and
that big
he's
time.
been helping out. So we're going to try to get him on this podcast one day. And we're going to, let him speak on it because he's definitely been one of the politicians to champion things, not just for the industry as a whole, but also for black people in cannabis too. He's really been a champion for the social equity program as far as trying to help certain things within the social equity program. And he knew that this tax on tax would affect a social equity retailer applicant. And by understanding that, he thought it was imperative. And, I'm not speaking for the man, but I can only really understand where Steve was coming from. He thought it was imperative that these taxes be removed out of the industry so that the consumer can then, get some reprieve on these prices.
Yep. Make a big difference.
Make a big difference because like Marco said, we can compete.
Yeah.
That we can. We the best competitors in the world. But when when you're making everything
almost 3 times as expensive as it needs to be, 4 times
then,
in some cases.
You handcuff us, you hog tie us, and then you expect us to, be able to do what we do, and it's very difficult. Yeah, I get it. I understand.
And you probably did it in one of the worst economies ever. There's not a lot of money out there in the world. For you to have 38% taxation and then you double dipping down at the retailer, they're going to tie your shoes together until you go run a marathon.
Exactly.
How successful are you going to be at that?
So it's almost like that chain and ball theory, when they at the starting line and they got the brother with the chain and the ball on, pop the gun and tell him to run. You know what I'm saying? And then he's struggling trying to keep up with everybody else that don't have a chain and the ball,
They keeping up, though.
But yeah, man, that's how they that's how they do us.
Keeping up.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we throw that ball up. Hey, we've been throwing that ball on our back and still running, keeping up with everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, don't forget to tell about July 22nd. The DEA called. Like at this point, we still can reach out to Congress and tell them that rather than you reschedule it to 3, to take it off the scheduling altogether. So make sure that you reach out to the DEA. They have the email for comments. They still taking comments all the way up to July 22nd.
Is there any way we could send that out to people, or we could, where do they go?
You know what? I'll make sure that I write up a sheet of paper and then you can just include it with the episode of exactly where they can go. But we have to have our voices heard. I don't agree with the scheduling because cannabis is a medicine, but it's a herb at the end of the day. It's a vegetable if you really think about it. So for you to put it into this controlled substance, that's a compromise. So I'm okay with it, but at the same time, I do believe that it should not be scheduled at all.
I think it should not be scheduled at all. I think that we as an industry have been okay with a lot of things too many times. We was okay with the way Prop 64 was done. Look what it's done to us. We was okay with Measure M, and then they changed a lot of stuff in Measure M, and look what it's done to us. We were okay with legalization, but look what legalization has truly done to us. So understand we can't just accept the status quo. We have to continue to push the envelopes and let them know this is not where we want it to be. And the people have to speak and be heard. You know what I'm saying? We have to stop taxation without representation, taking us back to the old Boston Tea Party. But, that's what we're dealing with right now. And it's going to be a time where we're going to be throwing all the tea overboard. The industry needs to stand up and realistically, I've said it 1,000,001 times, we need to stop paying taxes. Once we withhold our taxes, and I'm talking about withhold them, I'm not saying take the money and go spend it and do something dumb with it, go to the strip club and bands in the air type thing, but take that money and hold on to it and withhold it from them. And once you do that, and they feel the pinch of that, but everybody, it has to be a unified front. It has to be every retailer, every distributor, every cultivator, every manufacturer, because what they'll do is if one or two people do it, we'll cancel your license. But if everybody do it, they ain't canceling everybody's license. Come on, y'all got to understand really how to fight. Because y'all ain't really understanding how to fight. I know how to fight. I done been through these fights before. So I understand what it takes to make it happen. We need everybody to stand in unison. We need the industry to come together one more time together because it's going to benefit everybody in the long run. Just like when union people stand up together and march together, and then they get that contractual agreement, they get that raise, they get those benefits that they get that fair treatment. We have to fight as an industry the same way to get the same things that we need, but we have to stand together and do it as one. And if all of us withheld our taxes, all them millions and hundreds and millions of dollars, they wouldn't be getting. And then they will come to the table and say, what do we need to do to fix the problem so we can get our money? Because we know that's what it is at the end of the day. They just want their money. Mm-hmm. So one thing we don't understand, and when I say we, I have to talk specifically to black people. Because now this is my controversial topic. Yeah. I have to specifically talk to black people, so I hope y'all hearing me out there in Streamland. We have a problem with understanding how to hit people. And what do I mean by that? We don't know how to hit people where we're supposed to hit people. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. If a liquor store, let's just say a liquor store, a convenience store open up in our community, and that convenience store is disrespectful to our community, the people who run it, the people that they hire, and they don't hire from the community, and they service us in a piss poor way, or they have trash product in our community, but just taken from our community, not giving back, not being a good neighbor, and all the things. We have to stop supporting those businesses. Stop spending your money in a place where a person don't like you. Stop taking that money and laying it on the same counter that when you walk out, they calling you nigga behind your back. Or sometimes in your face. Or mumbling under their breath where they can hear you because they want you just to hear it just enough. So you say, what did you say? You know what they said. But we still go spend our money with those type of people. We have people that aren't even from our community coming in our community, open up dispensaries. And they're taking from the community. They're not giving back. And we're not really even in the position to give back. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? Because what we were talking about, that 30-something% goes out the door. I can't do no backpack giveaways. I can't do no turkeys on Christmas. I can't give 100 toys to 100 kids. I can't help nobody because the state and the city's stealing from us. But let's just be very clear. Even if we could, those people do not support and give back to the community like they used to. And we steadily support them. We have not understood how to hit people the way they hit us. I'm going to say that again. We do not understand how to hit people the way they hit us. And I don't mean physically strike. Just think about this. How does corporate America, white folks in corporate America, because those who predominantly run corporate America, how do they hit us when we get out of line? How do they hit us? They hit us where?
In our pocket.
In our pockets. Look at Kyrie Irving. When he got out of pocket, what did they do? They hit him in his pockets when they suspended him. You know, we could go down the long list of ball players that in so-called got out of line, rappers, singers, Bill Cosby, they tried to damage Michael Jackson when they took him through that case. R. Kelly stopped playing his music on the radio, and we supported that. We supported stop playing R. Kelly's music on the radio. Negro in jail. And y'all still don't want him to have no money and he in jail? Like, what good is he going to have with $1 million in jail? Like dummies? You know what I'm saying? But you sponsored these white folks taking that man's money. You sponsored that. You Negro sponsored that. Shame on you. You sponsored Bill Cosby going to jail. Shame on you. You sponsored Michael Jackson's case. Shame on you. You sponsored O.J. Simpson's case. Shame on you. Because now it's coming out, oh, it was different. Now you Negroes is, oh, I didn't know. Come on, man. The smoke screen is always there for us. We don't hit them in their pockets like they hit us in our pockets. How do you hit them in their pockets? Don't support their business. Support your own. Get your own. And then support your own. Don't just get your own. Support your own. Support another minority black-owned business within your community. You wonder why black businesses have a high failure rate, 75% failure rate within the first year, because y'all don't support them. I'm a black-owned cannabis business in a predominantly black community. And you know I struggle to stay in business in my own community, and then I have somebody else who opens up down the street who is not black, and they don't struggle to stay open. And then another one open up on the other side of me, and they don't struggle to stay open because you Negroes go run and throw your dollars at them. Well, don't come throw your dollars at your brother. You know, that is a problem with us. And that's a problem that we need to understand that we have and been having for quite some time, and we need to stop that today, right now. We need to support your own. And it ain't nothing wrong with supporting your own. How you think all these taco stands stay alive? Because they support their own. You can best believe you're going to be seeing a line of Mexicans lined up at that taco stand to get them some tacos because they support their peoples. And that's what they supposed to do. The same thing we supposed to do when we see a brother on the side with his barbecue stand or whatever the heck he's selling. If it's something supporting, even if you go by and you got a loose dollar in your pocket, man, throw him a buck. Hey, man, I don't need nothing you got, but here go a few dollars, man. God bless, good luck. Because I'm sure God blessed you to get what you get. And if you going to give, you go give to the preacher, man. Give to your brother, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is my controversial topic, is that we got to hit them like they hit us. They want to hit us in the pockets, hit them in the pockets. When they do not operate responsibly within our community, they must go, period. Because you go to somebody else's community and think you're going to operate irresponsibly. Yeah, it's going to be up out of there. It should be the same for us. We should take a lot more pride in the communities that you live in. Clean your neighborhoods up. Don't look for the street sweeper to come by and sweep it up. Get out on that curve and sweep your own curve up, because that's what we used to do back in the day, and that's what I still do today. As a owner of cannabis businesses, I still go out and sweep my curve today. Just did it just this Sunday in my suit and tie, and I was out sweeping my curve. And I'm not saying that just for no accolades. I'm saying that because I care about where I am. I got neighbors across the street, and I got neighbors behind me and neighbors next door and all around me. I'm not about to leave trash laying in the street around their homes and make their property value go down. Come on, that's being responsible. That's being an adult. And that's what we have to do. We have to start being an adult about how we handle things. So my controversial topic of tonight is hit them the same way they hit us. In the pockets. And if I don't leave y'all with nothing else, I left y'all with that. Marco to my right, Keith to my left. Token Tuesday. Y'all know we here every Tuesday giving it up the best we can. Tune in, listen to us. Powered by California Cannabis. where only the best grows in the West.
Token Tuesday. It's what we do. We just sit around, smoke a pound, and talk about